You may be disillusioned when you learn these scary secrets of Burt Reynolds, the highest-paid actor in Hollywood in the 70s, as told by his son. Fame always comes with controversy. Burt Reynolds is the image of an outstanding, handsome man in terms of career, but has been turned away by fans after a series of scandals, especially rumors surrounding his AIDS. Although 5 years have passed and fans no longer have the opportunity to debate Burt, today, his son has revived and clarified his rumors. Watch this video until the end to get a more accurate view of Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds, the charismatic leading man of the 1970s and 1980s, left an indelible mark on the world of cinema with his signature films that, while considered dated by sophisticated movie viewers in 2018, were monumental box office successes during their time. Titles like Smokey and the Bandit and Stroker Ace may now be relegated to the realm of late-night cable TV and red box kiosks, but it's important to remember that these movies were anything but forgettable when they graced the silver screen. During the 1970s and 1980s, Burt Reynolds was the epitome of Hollywood stardom, and his guilty pleasure flicks enjoyed immense popularity with audiences. While they may not have all been blockbuster hits, they consistently performed well at the box office. In fact, the original Smokey and the Bandit was a bona fide blockbuster, ranking as the #3 box office hit of 1978, alongside cinematic heavyweights of the era. This remarkable feat alone speaks volumes about Reynolds' star power and the undeniable appeal of his films. What truly sets Burt Reynolds apart in the annals of Hollywood history is his remarkable achievement of being the top-grossing actor in Tinseltown from 1978 to 1982, a feat that placed him in the same league as iconic actors like Harrison Ford, Will Smith, and Tom Cruise. This impressive accomplishment underscores just how beloved and bankable Reynolds was during his heyday. However, it's worth noting that while Reynolds may have been a box office sensation, he often found himself at odds with film critics. His distinctive brand of cinema, characterized by car chases, cliches, and a devil-may-care attitude, didn't always resonate with the critical establishment. Movies like Stroker Ace and The Cannonball Run received a lukewarm reception, with Rotten Tomatoes scores languishing at just 20%. Yet, not all of Reynolds' films were panned by critics. Sharky's Machine and the aforementioned Smokey and the Bandit managed to fare better, earning critical acclaim with Rotten Tomatoes scores of 94% and 79% respectively. These films showcased Reynolds' versatility as an actor and his ability to transcend the limitations of his signature genre. Burt Reynolds was not just a charismatic movie star. He also had a deep and abiding love for the world of theater. Unlike many actors who transition from theater to film and television and occasionally return to the stage, Reynolds had a unique vision that led him to establish the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater in Jupiter, Florida. This venture was not just any theater. It was one of the most successful and prestigious venues outside the traditional theatrical hubs of New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. In 1978, Reynolds embarked on a remarkable project that would eventually cost $2 million. He articulated his vision clearly, saying, "I want a theater for people who haven't seen live theater, at prices they can pay." This statement revealed his commitment to making live theater accessible to a broader audience, both in terms of affordability and geographical proximity. Moreover, Burt Reynolds aimed to create a haven for actors, especially those he considered friends and who may have had limited opportunities elsewhere in the industry. Many respected names in the entertainment world were drawn to his theater in Florida, enticed by the prospect of working with Reynolds. The list of luminaries who graced the stage there included Carol Burnett, Farrah Fawcett, Ned Beatty, Kirstie Alley, and Robert Urich. Notably, even renowned figures like Liza Minnelli and Martin Sheen took up teaching positions to impart their knowledge to aspiring actors at the theater. While Reynolds only took the stage in 3 productions during the theater's decade-long existence, he embraced the role of director passionately, overseeing 7 shows during his tenure. His commitment to mentoring and providing opportunities for fellow actors underscored his dedication to the craft of theater. However, despite his best intentions and efforts to leave a lasting legacy for the Jupiter community, Reynolds faced a setback in 1989. He decided to shut down the theater with the intention of donating the building to Palm Beach Community College for use as a performing arts center. Unfortunately, this noble gesture was hindered by financial difficulties and the theater's substantial debts, leading to interference from the Florida government. Burt Reynolds had his share of romantic relationships and marriages throughout his life, with each chapter in his love life leaving a unique imprint on his personal journey. In the mid-1960s, Reynolds was married to English comedian Judy Carne, who was best known for her role on the popular television show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. Their union marked a significant period in his life, as it was his first marriage, bringing together two personalities from different sides of the entertainment world. While the marriage eventually ended, it was a formative experience in Reynolds' personal history. However, one of Burt Reynolds' most famous romances unfolded with fellow Hollywood superstar Sally Field. The two shared an on-screen chemistry that was palpable, starring together in memorable films like Smokey and the Bandit, Hooper, Smokey and the Bandit 2, and The End. Their connection extended beyond the silver screen, and their 5-year relationship captured the public's imagination. Reynolds often spoke fondly of his time with Sally Field, acknowledging that it was a period of his life that held great happiness. In an interview with Closer, he expressed his belief that they could have been very happy together. This sentiment reflected the depth of their connection and the impact of their relationship on his life. However, in a candid 2016 interview with the Daily Mail, Reynolds opened up about what he considered the biggest disappointment in his life, the end of his relationship with Sally Field. He candidly admitted that she was the love of his life and that he felt responsible for the demise of their relationship, acknowledging his mistakes. Reynolds' words conveyed a sense of remorse and longing for what might have been. Despite their separation, the emotional connection between Reynolds and Field remained strong. Reynolds revealed that he had no idea how Sally Field felt about the situation, and he lamented the lack of communication between them. He expressed his desire for reconciliation, mentioning that Field's son often talked about her thoughts and memories of Reynolds. Burt Reynolds had his fair share of moments that showcased his candid and sometimes cranky side. One notable incident occurred during an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno in October 1994, and it was perhaps fueled by an earlier jab from Leno regarding Reynolds' messy divorcee from Lonnie Anderson. The previous night, Jay Leno had made a wisecrack about Reynolds' divorcee, and it seems this comment didn't sit well with the iconic movie star. When Reynolds appeared on the show the following day, he wasted no time addressing Leno's earlier joke. He described it as cutting and pledged to even the score in his own unique way. In a gesture that added a touch of dramatic flair to the proceedings, Reynolds reached for a pair of scissors and proceeded to cut off Leno's tie right there on live television. This impulsive act of retaliation not only surprised the audience, but also set the tone for a memorable and somewhat tense interview. As the show continued, tensions remained palpable when the second guest, Mark Summers, host of Double Dare, joined the conversation. Summers, known for his role in the world of children's television, discussed the challenge of balancing his role as a neatness fanatic with the messy and chaotic nature of hosting a show like Double Dare. While sharing anecdotes about some of the stunts and messes on his show, Summers inadvertently provided an opportunity for Reynolds to deliver a sarcastic quip. Reynolds dryly remarked, "Gee, I wish I'd seen that," adding a layer of playful yet biting humor to the situation. The incident continued to escalate when Mark Summers, the host of Double Dare, seemingly failed to acknowledge Reynolds properly. Reynolds, with his characteristic wit and bravado, couldn't let this go unnoticed. He interjected, humorously pointing out that Summers had his back turned toward him during their interaction, quipping, "Your back is to me, and I was just talking to a back." This exchange set the stage for further hilarity and confrontation. The conversation took another interesting turn when Reynolds questioned the source of Summers' claim of being a neatness fanatic. Summers playfully responded that his wife had bestowed him with that title, adding a humorous twist by saying, "I'm still married, matter of fact." This remark appeared to push Reynolds over the edge. In an unexpected and theatrical move, Reynolds grabbed a nearby mug of water and tossed it in Summers' direction. The mug hit its mark, causing Summers to spill his own water on himself. The audience reacted with a mixture of surprise and amusement as the tension in the studio continued to mount. Summers, undeterred by the soot-inducing, quickly retaliated by grabbing what remained of his water and throwing it back at Reynolds. The situation had escalated into a full-blown water fight, with both Reynolds and Summers actively participating. The studio staff seemed taken aback by the unfolding chaos, and a stagehand tossed a towel to Summers to help him dry off. In a final humorous twist, Burt Reynolds, known for his quick wit, got the last word in the exchange by saying, "I did it to you. I deserved it. As I was saying to your wife the other night." The audience erupted in laughter at Reynolds' punchline, highlighting his ability to turn a tense situation into comedy. To cap off this remarkable and unpredictable sequence of events, the entire incident concluded with a pie fight, adding an element of slapstick comedy to an already memorable late-night talk show segment. The pie fight served as a light-hearted and unexpected resolution to a situation that began with tension but ultimately left everyone involved, including the audience, in stitches. Burt Reynolds' journey to superstardom in the 1970s was significantly propelled by a bold and iconic moment that became synonymous with his career: the infamous nude centerfold he posed for in a 1972 issue of Cosmopolitan magazine. This provocative move not only elevated his fame, but also played a pivotal role in defining the 1970s as the Burt Reynolds decade. The genesis of this remarkable centerfold can be traced back to a meeting between Reynolds and the legendary Cosmopolitan editor, Helen Gurley Brown. They crossed paths while both were guests on The Tonight Show, and it was Gurley Brown who proposed the idea of the daring photo shoot to Reynolds. Intrigued by the notion, Reynolds decided to go ahead with it, later stating that he thought it would be a kick. The release of the nude centerfold occurred just before the premiere of Reynolds' breakthrough film, Deliverance, marking a pivotal moment in his career. The timing of the magazine's publication was fortuitous, as it generated enormous buzz and curiosity around the upcoming movie. This strategic marketing move capitalized on the emerging phenomenon of male nudity in the early 1970s and became a sensation. However, over time, Burt Reynolds began to feel conflicted about the decision to pose in such a provocative manner. He believed that the attention garnered by the centerfold detracted from the seriousness of Deliverance and hindered the movie's chances of receiving critical acclaim and awards recognition. He even expressed his concern that it may have cost his co-stars, including Jon Voight and Ned Beatty, the Oscar nominations they deserved. Burt Reynolds' status as the top box office draw for a significant period of time made him a highly sought-after actor in Hollywood. His popularity was such that he was routinely offered some of the most iconic and legendary movie roles in film history. In a March 2018 episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Reynolds hinted at the multitude of legendary roles that came his way, shedding light on one particularly significant role he had turned down. One of the most notable roles that Burt Reynolds declined was that of Michael Corleone in The Godfather, the 1972 crime family epic directed by Francis Ford Coppola and based on Mario Puzo's novel. Michael Corleone, portrayed by Al Pacino, is a central character in the film and the entire Godfather saga. The Godfather is regarded as one of the finest American films ever made and an absolute masterpiece of cinema. Reynolds' decision to turn down such an iconic role naturally raised questions about his reasons. It turns out that his choice was influenced by a formidable figure in Hollywood, the legendary actor Marlon Brando, who was cast as Don Corleone, the patriarch of the Corleone crime family. The key factor in Reynolds' decision was the strong reaction of Marlon Brando. Brando, who had a reputation for being an influential and sometimes unconventional actor, reportedly threatened to quit the film if Reynolds was cast as Michael Corleone. This revelation sheds light on the dynamics and power struggles that can occur within the film industry, even among established and respected actors. In response to the situation, Burt Reynolds displayed graciousness and humility. He acknowledged that he was flattered that Brando cared enough about the casting to become upset. Reynolds' decision to step aside allowed Al Pacino to take on the role of Michael Corleone, a move that ultimately became a defining moment in Pacino's career. Burt Reynolds' career was marked not only by his numerous successes, but also by several significant roles he turned down, some of which went on to define other actors' careers. These decisions provide fascinating insights into the world of casting and the intricacies of an actor's decision-making process. One of the notable roles Reynolds declined was that of James Bond. He felt that the iconic British spy should be portrayed by a British actor, and this sense of loyalty to the character's origin led him to pass on the opportunity. However, Reynolds later expressed regret over this decision, acknowledging that it could have been a career-defining role. Another missed opportunity that Reynolds candidly admitted to was the role that Richard Gere ultimately played in Pretty Woman. When asked by Andy Cohen why he passed on the role, Reynolds humorously and bluntly replied, "Because I'm an idiot." The film's success and Gere's performance as Edward Lewis, the wealthy businessman who falls for a prostitute, became iconic, and Reynolds' self-deprecating comment shows a level of humility and self-awareness. Reynolds also declined roles in two highly acclaimed films that would go on to earn Oscars for their lead actors. He passed on the opportunity to star in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which was eventually portrayed by Jack Nicholson, who won an Academy Award for his performance. Similarly, Reynolds turned down a role in Terms of Endearment, another film that featured Jack Nicholson, who also won an Oscar for his role. Perhaps one of the most intriguing missed opportunities for Burt Reynolds was the chance to play Han Solo in the Star Wars franchise. He opted not to take on the role of the iconic space smuggler because he was not interested in doing a science fiction film. The character of Han Solo, as portrayed by Harrison Ford, became one of the most beloved and enduring figures in cinematic history, and it's fascinating to imagine how Reynolds' interpretation might have differed. Burt Reynolds indeed had a brief foray into the world of music. While his musical endeavors may not have reached the same level of acclaim as his acting career, they are still notable chapters in his diverse artistic journey. One of Reynolds' notable musical moments occurred in 1982 when he starred alongside the iconic Dolly Parton in the film adaptation of the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. In the movie, he showcased his singing abilities, albeit with mixed results. His performance as Sheriff Ed Earl Dodd in the film required him to sing various country and musical numbers, and while it may not have been the highlight of his career, it was a significant departure from his usual on-screen persona. However, the most noteworthy musical project in Reynolds' career was the release of his only album, Ask Me What I Am, which occurred about a decade later. The album was a collection of country music tunes, and Reynolds ventured into this project with sincerity and dedication. Co-produced by soft rock star Bobby Goldsboro, the album featured easy-going interpretations of songs with titles like Slow John Fairburn, She's Taken a Gentle Lover, and I Didn't Shake the World Today. While Ask Me What I Am didn't yield any chart-topping hits or mainstream recognition, it was a testament to Reynolds' willingness to explore different aspects of his artistic talents. The album provided a platform for him to express his love for country music and showcase his singing abilities to a wider audience. Interestingly, Reynolds did score a minor hit in the country music scene with the song "Let's Do Something Cheap and Superficial" in 1980. This song was featured on the soundtrack of Smokey and the Bandit 2, one of the films that defined his career. It became a modest success in the country music charts and added another dimension to Reynolds' creative portfolio. Burt Reynolds, during his peak years as one of Hollywood's best-paid movie stars, enjoyed immense financial success, bringing in an astonishing $10 million annually. However, his extravagant lifestyle and investments meant that he spent nearly all of his substantial earnings. Let's delve into the details of how he managed his wealth and the significant financial challenges he faced. Reynolds' penchant for lavish living was evident in his spending habits. He invested in numerous high-end properties, including an estate in Florida named Valhalla, a sprawling 153-acre ranch, and mansions in both Malibu and Beverly Hills. These properties were not just homes, but symbols of his success and extravagance. In addition to real estate, Reynolds had an impressive collection of vehicles. He owned a private jet and a helicopter, enabling him to travel with ease. Reynolds was also known for spending extravagantly on his appearance, including a considerable sum of approximately $100,000 on toupees. Maintaining his image was paramount, and he spared no expense in doing so. Notably, Reynolds ventured into the restaurant business with a comfort food chain called Po Folks. Unfortunately, this business endeavor did not yield the success he had hoped for, and it eventually became a financial setback. One of the most significant financial challenges that Burt Reynolds faced was his high-profile divorce from Lonnie Anderson in 1993. The divorce settlement required him to make monthly payments of nearly $250,000 to his former wife, which placed a substantial strain on his finances. Legal fees associated with the divorce further eroded his net worth. Around this time, Reynolds also experienced a decline in the commercial success of his movies, which had once been box office hits. Additionally, the divorce tainted his image and led to the loss of lucrative endorsements with companies such as Quaker State and the Florida Citrus Commission. Despite the financial hardships and setbacks he faced, Reynolds continued to work in the entertainment industry. He starred in the television series Evening Shade, which earned him a 1991 Emmy Award. However, this success was short-lived, as CBS canceled the show in 1994, further impacting his income. In 2015, Burt Reynolds opened up about his financial struggles in an interview with Vanity Fair. He admitted that he had lost a substantial amount of money over the years due to his spending habits and financial decisions. As a result, he sold off a significant portion of his personal belongings, including iconic items like the jacket he wore in Smokey and the Bandit, his Emmy Award for Evening Shade, and the Golden Globe he won for Boogie Nights. The 1984 crime dramedy City Heat marked one of the last big, rough-and-tumble Burt Reynolds movies, but what happened during its production had a profound impact on his life and health. Reynolds faced significant challenges both on and off the set. While filming City Heat, Reynolds endured a serious accident that resulted in a painful injury to his jaw. The exact details of the accident are not specified, but the injury was severe enough to cause him considerable discomfort. In an attempt to alleviate the pain, Reynolds turned to Halcyon, a sleep aid that was popular at the time. Little did he know that this choice would lead to a profound and enduring struggle. Reynolds became addicted to Halcyon, and his dependency on the medication escalated rapidly. At the peak of his addiction, he was consuming an astonishing 50 pills of halcyon per day. This level of usage is not only dangerous, but also indicative of the severity of his dependency. Recognizing the detrimental effects of his addiction, Reynolds made an attempt to quit the medication cold turkey. However, his body's reaction to the sudden withdrawal was severe, and he fell into a coma as a result. During this critical period, Reynolds described having an out-of-body experience, wherein he was aware of medical professionals discussing his dire condition. He recalled hearing a doctor say, "We're losing him." It was during this time that Reynolds' then-wife, Lonnie Anderson, was brought in to say her final farewell. Miraculously, Burt Reynolds managed to pull through and regain his health, defying the odds and emerging from the coma. His recovery was nothing short of remarkable, given the gravity of the situation. In doing so, he not only survived the immediate danger, but also managed to conquer his addiction to halcyon. During this challenging period, there were rumors circulating that Reynolds's significant weight loss was a result of AIDS, which was a topic of great concern and fear during that era. However, he was quick to dismiss those rumors and clarified that his weight loss was primarily related to his battle with addiction. What do you think about Burt Reynolds' tragic life? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.